Licenses and permits. Hello, and welcome to the Licenses and Permits session. Obtaining the proper licenses and permits when you're starting your own business provides several benefits. Licenses and permits ensure that you are operating your business legally for your location, your industry, and your business entity. Licenses and permits can help you attract customers, suppliers, partners, or investors by demonstrating your business is official and legal. By understanding the specific licenses and permits required for your business, you can operate confidently and compliantly from the start. While this session provides general guidelines, MOBI does not provide legal advice, and it's recommended that you consult with an attorney specializing in business law to ensure you meet all legal requirements. Now here's what you can expect from this session. Today's topics include: do I need licenses? Factors that determine licenses and permits. Licenses all or most businesses need. Additional requirements depending on your business, such as home-based businesses, food businesses, home-based care, and more. And where to get licenses and permits. We'll review a licenses and permits checklist, and we'll finish up this session with a list of top 10 do's and don'ts. Sounds good? Let's go. Do I need licenses? Well, every business owner will need at least one license, a business tax license, or more simply known as a business license. There may be other licenses and permits that are required. It's important to research the licenses and permits you will need before you begin the process of starting your business. As you research, create a list of licenses and permits needed, including the different requirements, the cost to obtain each one. Some are free, and the term or length of time before it needs to be renewed, and any helpful information like websites, phone numbers, or emails. This can help you plan your timing and your budget. Now, there are several benefits to having all your licenses and permits. Some of these include operating your business legally from the start, building trust with customers, suppliers, partners, and investors, obtaining business insurance, pursuing loans, funding, and/or grants, establishing yourself as an independent contractor, applying for large business opportunities and contracts, protecting yourself and your business. Since some licenses and permits require regular inspections, you'll ensure your business remains up to date and in compliance. Generally, all permits and licenses required to operate your business can be obtained through local government offices and at the state level. There are specific businesses for which a federal license might be required, but we'll cover those later in this session. Factors that determine licenses and permits. The specific licenses and permits you need depend on a number of factors. You may also be required to obtain special certifications and/or licenses before you get the appropriate permits to start your business. The process of obtaining permits is known as pulling permits. Key factors that determine licenses and permits you need include the legal structure or entity of your business, like sole proprietorship, partnership, etc. Location, where you will be operating your business, such as a city, state, or county. Type of business or industry, whether you're buying an existing business. Now, for many businesses, issues regarding licenses, permits, and business names can be handled on your own. Some other businesses may require the help of a lawyer. So, before you start, it's a good idea to identify a lawyer whose practice is focused on business. A good way to find a lawyer is to ask for recommendations from your accountant or business acquaintances. If you're not sure about an issue, ask your lawyer about it first. Your investment in legal fees now can help you avoid much bigger problems at a later date. As stated earlier, this session provides general guidance and not legal advice, so it's always a good idea to check with an attorney for legal questions. Your local government or the U.S. Small Business Administration Small Business Development Center in your location might offer free legal services or be able to direct you to a resource for information. Legal structure or entity. The legal organization or entity you choose for your business will determine the licenses and permits required. The most common legal entities include sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company or LLC, either single member LLC or partnership LLC, corporation, S corporation or S corp, benefit or social purpose corporation, and nonprofit. Many new business owners choose to operate as a sole proprietor with LLCs and S-corps following an order of popularity. A sole proprietorship can typically be formed without an attorney. An LLC or corporation will likely require an attorney, accountant, or business professional to assist. Some local governments partner with nonprofit organizations to provide assistance. There is also a C corporation or C Corp, but this is generally for much larger businesses that are owned by shareholders and anticipate growth through stock sales, etc. It is highly unlikely that a small business owner would choose to operate as a C Corp when starting their business. Visit MOBI's session on business organization to learn more about the different types of legal entities and the pros and cons of each one. Location. Regardless whether you operate a business from your home, from your phone, or in a physical space known as a brick and mortar business, your business location is a factor in determining your license and permits because areas are designed for specific uses. This is known as zoning. Some general zone categories include residential, commercial, industrial, mixed use, special purpose, conservation, and historic preservation. You will need to verify that your type of business is allowed in your location. This is known as being in compliance with zoning. If your type of business is not allowed in your area, you may be able to apply for a variance to get approval. Your local government can provide the steps for this process, and it will likely include a fee. You'll be required to provide a business address when obtaining your license and permits. It's important to remember that the address of your business is public information. If you are operating your business from your home and would like to keep your address private, you can purchase a business address using a virtual office service or mailbox provider such as the UPS store. Certain government agencies will not allow P.O. boxes as official business addresses. Because of that, it's best to use a virtual office or the service of a UPS store mailing address. Type of business or industry. The type of business you plan to start and the industry will also determine the licenses and permits you'll need. A hairstylist and an electrician will need special certifications and training to start their own businesses, whereas a web designer may just need to obtain a business tax license. This may also vary depending on your location. Buying an existing business. Entrepreneurs who are purchasing an existing business may have a different process in obtaining licenses and permits. When buying a business, be sure that you understand all of the licenses and permits that are required, whether any have expired, and how you will ensure you are compliant with all the legal requirements for the business. Generally, it is recommended that you go through escrow to purchase a business. Going through escrow means you work with a neutral third party to manage the transaction, rather than making the purchase directly from the seller. The neutral party or agent holds the purchase funds securely until all terms of the sale agreement are met by both the buyer and the seller. This process helps ensure the safety and fairness for both parties involved in the transaction. It is not illegal to purchase a business without escrow, but you take on significant risk in doing so. MOBI has 2 sessions that can provide more information about purchasing an existing business, buying a franchise, and buying businesses. Licenses all or most businesses need. Let's review some of the common licenses that all or at least most businesses need to operate. Business tax license, business license. Every business owner needs a business tax license, also known as a business license, in order to operate a business legally. This license is typically provided by your local government for a fee, and it must be renewed each year. First, as mentioned earlier, you'll need to verify that your type of business is allowed in your location. This is also known as being in compliance with the zoning of your location. Zoning refers to local government regulations that designate specific areas for different types of land use, ensuring businesses operate in permitted locations. If you are in compliance with zoning, you may go ahead and submit for a business tax license. The business tax license fee amount will depend on your location, business type, and maybe the number of employees, if any, revenue, or additional factors. After you pay your license fee, you'll receive a license with an associated business license number. It's a good idea to have this number handy in case it's required for forms or applications in the future. Also, be sure to keep your business license in a safe place. Some industries may require that you display it at your business location. It's important to note that this license does not mean that you have met all the license or permits requirements for your business. The business tax license verifies that your local government is aware that you are operating your business in your location. Fictitious business name, DBA. What's in a business name? Plenty. Not only does your name have to reflect your brand and be memorable, there are also a host of legal issues to consider. Before you take those steps, you'll need to choose your business name. The U.S. Small Business Administration provides some helpful information on their webpage. Choose your business name. You can also visit MOBI's marketing session to learn more about branding your business. Once you've decided on your business name, you'll need to investigate whether you need to register this name with the local government. This is known as registering or filing your fictitious business name or doing business as name, also known as a DBA name. A fictitious business name is used when a business operates under a name that is different from its legal name or the name of the owner or owners. So, the legal name you decide to give your business is known as your fictitious business name or the name you are doing business as. This registration or filing is not quite a license and not quite a permit, but it's a legal process required in some cases. Whether you need to file your business name or not will depend on the name, the type of business, legal entity, the laws in your area, and other factors. Do you need to have a DBA? The answer is probably yes, and you definitely want to take the time to find out. Most states require that you get a DBA. So, when do you need a fictitious business name or DBA? Generally speaking, if you are a sole proprietor, you will register your business name with the county. This may be through the county recorder's office or the county clerk's office. If you are an LLC or corporation operating with a different name than what was registered with your state, or that is different from what you use in marketing, then you too will need to register your fictitious business name with the appropriate county office. This step is called registering or filing your fictitious business name. For example, if your corporation name is ABC Corporation, but you are marketing yourself as 123 Company, then a DBA would be needed. It would be ABC Corporation doing business as 123 Company. To register your fictitious business name, go to the appropriate county office and fill out the DBA form. Be sure to search the name you want for your business ahead of time so that you don't choose something already used by another business. All counties will have a search function on names of businesses. You'll also want to prepare the information you'll need for your form in advance. This may include the business name, the business address, the business organization, entity, owner information, name, home, address, phone number, email address, nature of business, and identification such as a photo ID. You'll also likely need to pay a filing fee. When you register your fictitious business name or DBA, be sure you know and make note of the renewal terms. DBAs typically are renewed every 5 years, but the term may be different according to location, business type, and other factors. In some counties, you'll need to publish your name in a local publication within 30 days of filing your fictitious business name or DBA. This serves as the official notification to the community and stakeholders that the business is operating under a specific name and ownership structure. This also helps protect customers and creditors by providing information of who owns and operates the business. Typically, the county office will provide instructions about how and where to publish your name. Here are some important benefits of establishing a DBA. Establishing a DBA allows you to sign and enforce contracts under your business name, operate and advertise under your business name, and you can prevent other businesses from using the name within your state. Establish a separate bank account under your business name. Accept checks written out to your business name. Gain a more professional image. Establish yourself as a formal business if you are a consultant or independent contractor. You will not be able to enforce any contracts you sign under your business name unless the name legally belongs to you. Banking under your business name. Most banks will not allow you to open a business bank account unless you've shown them proof of a filed DBA. It's important to have a business bank account so that you can accept payments written out to your business name. You may consider checking with different banks to see the differences in services they can offer you and the requirements they have to set up a business account. Should I trademark my business name? You are not required by law to do this, but registering your name as a trademark is always a good idea. It provides you with protection in case another business tries to use your business name or a name that is likely to be confused with your business name. It may be smart to file an application for a federal trademark if your company is doing business in several states. Run a search with the government or through a service to determine if your name is already taken. You can also find more information through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. That's at www.uspto.gov. Tax Identification Number, SSN, ITIN, or EIN. In the U.S., there are 3 tax identification numbers that can be used for tax and business purposes. Those include Social Security Number, or SSN, Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, or ITIN, and Employer Identification Number, or EIN. We recommend that all businesses get an EIN, even if you have an SSN or ITIN, because it helps protect your privacy and personal tax identification number. You are required to use one of these numbers for your business. Your tax identification number will be requested when you're applying for permits or licenses, opening bank accounts, accepting credit cards, and more. Let's discuss the differences. Social Security Number, or SSN. Typically, sole proprietors who do not have employees and do not operate as a separate entity like LLC, corporation, partnership, nonprofit, etc., can use their SSN for their personal tax returns and business income. Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, or ITIN. Individuals who are not eligible for SSN but need to file taxes with the IRS can use their ITIN number. These are generally used by non-resident individuals, foreign nationals, and others who need to comply with U.S. tax laws but do not qualify for an SSN. Employer Identification Number, EIN. Businesses are required to use an EIN number rather than a Social Security number or an ITIN in certain circumstances that we'll cover next. It can also be a good idea to use an EIN even if you don't need to, because it can be safer to give out rather than your personal SSN or ITIN. Another benefit of having an EIN is that it can help establish credibility with whom you do business. An EIN is required for your business if your business has employees, your business is an LLC, partnership, or corporation, you file business taxes such as corporate income tax, partnership tax, employment tax, excise tax, or taxes associated with businesses related to alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. You withhold taxes on income other than wages paid to a non-resident individual. You have a KEO plan, which is a type of retirement savings plan designed for self-employed individuals and small business owners. You are involved with trusts, IRAs, exempt organization business income tax returns, estates, real estate mortgage investment conduits, nonprofit organizations, farmers cooperatives, or plan administrators. Keep in mind, you may be asked to provide an EIN for certain business bank accounts, licenses, and/or permits. Again, we recommend getting an EIN for your business, even if you have an SSN or an ITIN, to protect your privacy and personal tax ID number. Additional requirements depending on your business. The next steps in opening your business may differ depending on your entity, your location, your business industry, where you operate your business, and more. Let's talk through some examples, and you can check with your local government offices to research the licenses and permits needed for your specific business. Home-based businesses. Some residential neighborhoods have strict zoning restrictions that may prevent you from doing business out of your home. Now, as mentioned earlier, zoning requirements will impact the types of businesses that can be operated from your home. Some types of businesses may be required to operate within commercial or mixed-use zoning areas rather than residential areas. However, it may be possible to get a variance or conditional use permit to get approval to operate your business if your current zoning does not allow it. In many areas, attitudes toward home-based businesses are becoming more supportive, making it easier to obtain a variance. Similarly, condominiums and planned communities may have bylaws that could affect your ability to do business out of your home. If your business generates heavy traffic, causes noise or pollution, requires special permits, involves hazardous materials, affects property values, operates outdoors, or conflicts with neighborhood character, you may not be allowed to operate in a residential area. For example, a nail salon may not be approved for a home-based business. Other special circumstances might exist, such as those in a designated historical district. Home-based businesses involving food sales are restricted, and you will need to understand the laws in the state or location from where you operate your business if you are pursuing a food business. Most home-based businesses are not allowed to sell food from home. Those that are allowed have restrictions such as how much revenue they can generate per year, the type of food sold, etc. The health department in your city or county will have additional information if this type of business is allowed in your location. We provide more information about food businesses next, and you can also refer to MOBI's freelance, independent, and home-based business session for more information and guidance for starting a business from your home. Food businesses and cottage food businesses. Now, if you plan to operate a food business, it's important to understand all the requirements for your specific business and your location. Examples of food businesses can include restaurants, food trucks, food carts, street vendors, catering businesses, home-based food businesses, and cottage food businesses. A cottage food business is a type of small-scale food business where individuals prepare and sell homemade food products. These businesses are often subject to specific regulations and permits that allow them to operate without needing a commercial kitchen. The types of food allowed and the regulations can vary by state, but typically include non-perishable items like baked goods, jams, and candies. Examples of specific licenses and permits required for food businesses can include food handling or food safety requirements. In addition to a health department permit, a food handler's permit may be required to ensure you and any employees of your business receive specific certification or training for the food you are preparing for your business. This certification or permit demonstrates knowledge and competency in handling food safely to prevent contamination. Food handling permits are often required for food handlers, cooks, chefs, and other personnel involved in food preparation. Commercial kitchen requirements. Depending on your location, you may be required to prepare your business's food in a commercial kitchen that meets health department standards. Business owners can rent a commercial kitchen space in their area to prepare their food. You may also be able to rent time in a commercial kitchen shared with others if your hours are limited or you want to reduce costs. Alternatively, some areas allow home-based businesses to operate under specific conditions, such as obtaining a home kitchen inspection and permit. Labeling and packaging requirements. Health department regulations may also include requirements for labeling and packaging of food products, including allergen information and expiration dates. To determine the specific requirements for selling food products in your area, it's important to contact your local health department or regulatory agency. They can provide guidance on the necessary permits, inspections, and regulations that apply to your business. Compliance with these regulations helps ensure the safety and quality of the food products you sell to customers. Licenses for home-based care businesses. Individuals may wish to operate a daycare business for children or an adult care business for elderly or disabled individuals. In both these cases, there are special licenses and permits that are required, and it's important that you understand the laws in your area. For example, in California, business owners operating a care business must obtain a license from the California Department of Social Services, CDSS, Community Care Licensing Division. There may be specific requirements and regulations depending upon the number of individuals in your care and the ages of children, if it is a child care facility. For elderly care businesses, you may also need a residential care facility for the elderly or CFE license for non-medical care of elderly residents. This is applicable for home-based facilities that provide room, board, and assistance with activities of daily living. You'll need to verify that your zoning allows for care businesses in your location. Your home will also need to be inspected to ensure it meets the health and safety standards, including proper sanitation, safety features, and emergency preparedness. Lastly, care businesses are also required to undergo background checks and fingerprinting for owners, administrators, and staff. Business owners pursuing these home-based businesses should check with both your local city and county and state governments for the most current and specific requirements for your business. It is your responsibility as a business owner to ensure you keep up with changes to all requirements. Seller's permit/sales tax permit. Businesses typically need a seller's permit, also known as a sales tax permit, or sales tax license if they sell tangible, physical goods or certain services that are subject to sales tax in their location. The requirement varies by state and locality, but does apply whether you have a home-based business or brick and mortar, a business with a physical location, and for all business entity types. This permit is generally free or low cost. You'll need a seller's permit if you are selling items such as clothing that you made, clothing that you purchased to resell, food that you made to resell, or items that you produced either yourself or through a manufacturer or wholesaler. As mentioned earlier, you may also need a seller's permit if your business sells certain services. These requirements may differ by state or location, but could include services such as event planning services, if you sell tangible items like decorations as part of your service package, or landscaping services, in some states if they involve the sale of tangible items such as mulch, plants, etc. Remember, you're required to collect sales tax on behalf of the government. It is common for small business owners to get confused and feel the money they receive through sales is their revenue. To avoid mistaking collected sales tax for revenue, it's a good practice to open a separate bank account for sales tax. Each week, transfer the collected sales tax into this account. When it's time to file your sales tax report and send the payment, the funds will already be set aside and organized. A seller's permit allows you to shop at wholesale stores, vendors, which generally offer products at a lower cost, allowing for a greater profit margin. Additionally, when purchasing from wholesalers, you'll be charged sales tax, just as you will charge your end customer. So, where do you get a seller's permit? You can register for a seller's permit through your state's Board of Equalization, Sales Tax, Commission, or Franchise Tax Board. Scan this QR code to visit the IRS page that provides state government websites. You can also find a link to this page in the Where to Get Licenses and Permits section of this session on MOBI's website. State licenses. Some businesses require you to have a special state license in order to operate. These are generally obtained by taking an exam, passing it, and being issued a license to operate. This process applies to the following businesses and potentially others as well, such as accountants, appraisers, auctioneers, barbers, bill collectors, brokers, building contractors such as roofers or plumbers, HVAC technicians, electricians, and landscape construction contractors, as well as cosmetologists, private security guards, private investigators, and real estate agents. Your state may require you to have special licenses if you sell certain products, such as firearms, gasoline, liquor, lottery tickets, etc. You can check with your local and state government to see if your business will require any special licenses. County permits. County permits can vary widely depending on the location and the specific regulations set by the county government. Here are some common types of county permits. The County Health Department permit. Certain businesses such as restaurants, food trucks, street vendors, and child care and adult care facilities may require a health department permit from the county to ensure compliance with health and safety regulations. You'll need a health department permit if you plan to sell food and/or manufacture food. It involves an annual inspection, and the permit must be renewed each year. Building or construction permit. If you are planning to construct, renovate, or make significant changes to a building or property within the county, you may need a building permit or construction permit to ensure compliance with building codes and regulations. Be sure you understand the building code so you know what permits you might need. Also, check with your local government to see if there are any grants or funding opportunities to support small business improvement projects. Alcohol license. Businesses that sell or serve alcoholic beverages, such as bars, restaurants, and liquor stores, may need an alcohol license or permit issued by the county's Alcohol Beverage Control Board. Signage permits. If you plan to install signage for your business, such as outdoor signs or billboards, you may need a signage permit from the county or city to ensure compliance with local regulations regarding size, placement, and aesthetics, or the visual qualities and appeal. In some cases, if you are replacing a sign of the same type and dimensions, you may not be required to get a permit. Be sure to check with a local government to understand those requirements. Police and Fire Department. Sometimes you'll need permission from the police department in order to conduct your business. Certain industries require police department approval before the city grants you permission to operate. Additionally, if you plan to sell late into the night or work as a food peddler, police involvement may be necessary. Always check with your local police department for specific requirements. Some examples of these types of businesses include, but are not limited to, nightclubs and bars, adult entertainment establishments, event venues, pawn shops, businesses with high security risks. The fire department is generally needed for two primary reasons, though there may be others. One reason is to conduct an inspection of a fire sprinkler system, and another is to inspect restaurant exhaust hoods. The fire department can also determine the maximum capacity your establishment can hold safely. Federal licenses and permits. For a very small number of businesses, federal licensing is a requirement. In businesses that are highly regulated by the government, federal licensing is typically required. Examples include, but are not limited to, broadcasting, drug manufacturing, ground transportation, investment advising, manufacturing tobacco, alcohol, or firearms, preparing meat products, selling firearms. Where to get permits and licenses. The best place to start is your local city hall or courthouse. See the city clerk, who should be able to direct you. You can also phone the city or county recorder's or county clerk's office with questions. Try a search online for your city hall to find the website for your local city hall. Now, there may also be a small business development center affiliated with the U.S. Small Business Administration in your area. Licenses and permits checklist. We also created a checklist that you can download to help ensure you have the permits and licenses you need for your business. Visit the resources page for licenses and permits on the MOBI website. Again, it's a good idea to check with your local government and/or business lawyer to make sure you have everything you need for your business and your location. Resources from this session. We mentioned several other MOBI sessions throughout this session that you might find helpful. As a reminder, you can visit our session on business organization to learn more about the different types of legal structures or entities and the pros and cons of each one. We also have two sessions that can provide more information about purchasing an existing business, buying a franchise, and buying businesses. You can visit our marketing session to learn more about branding your business. And you can refer to the freelance, independent, and home-based business session for more information and guidelines for starting a business from your home. To see a list of the SBA and IRS websites referenced in this session, along with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and California Department of Public Health websites also referenced, visit this session online and scroll to section entitled Where to Get Permits and Licenses. The top 10 do's and don'ts. The top 10 do's. Number 1, do research early to understand all required licenses and permits before starting your business. Number 2, Do check the zoning laws for your location and type of business. 3. Do maintain organized records of all licenses, permits, and renewal dates. 4. Do include the cost of licenses and permits in your business budget. 5. Do consult professionals. Seek advice from attorneys and accountants to ensure you meet all the legal requirements for your specific business. 6. Do register a fictitious business name or DBA if needed. Number 7. Do understand if you need any special certifications for your business type. 8. Do plan and be prepared for any required health, safety, or building inspections. 9. Do get a seller's permit if you are selling products or physical items as part of your service. 10. Do make sure you have all the necessary licenses and permits if you have a food-related business. The top 10 don'ts. Number 1. Don't skip research. Be sure you know the necessary licenses and permits for your specific business. 2. Don't ignore zoning laws and assume you can operate in any location without checking zoning regulations. Number 3. Don't wait until the last minute to apply for necessary licenses and permits. 4. Don't start construction projects at your brick and mortar business without permits. 5. Don't forget to check your licensing or permit renewals and deadlines to avoid penalties. 6. Don't overlook state-specific licenses that may be necessary. Number 7. Don't ignore certifications and training required for specific professions or industries. Number 8. Don't rely solely on online information. Instead, confirm information with local authorities. 9. Don't hesitate to consult legal and financial professionals for guidance. Number 10. Don't fail to collect sales tax when required. Congratulations! You just completed the Licenses and Permits session. Great job! For additional resources, visit the MOBI Resource Documents page in the Resources and Tools section of the MOBI website. And if you're taking this session as part of a course, don't forget to log in and take the quiz for this session. Feel free to pause now and review or download any of the resources from this session online or continue with the next session for more information. Good luck!